Welcome, everybody. Midlife Vices, episode 210. We are the Booster Gold of YouTube shows. I'm Steve, as always, and here with me is Jim. And joining us this week is the Al Borland to Jim's Bob Vila, the Ted Lasso to Mike Keeley from Gathering of the Geeks. Please welcome back Chris Evans. What's going on, guys?
Is this like the trilogy of us doing something now? Since the third episode?
I think it is, yes.
Oh.
We had the Christmas episode, then you were here for the
rom-coms.
Which one were you here for? Rom-coms, that's right.
I like the depths that we will sink to avoid anything copyright with YouTube for the introduction. That was fantastic. Anytime you get to see old people,
that was my favorite part.
So I was going to have you as the angel to my Spike, or the Spike to my angel, but it sounded a little inappropriate. So
a little bit, maybe.
I like it.
So anyway, this week's episode, we are doing our top 10 comic book movie scenes or moments. That's where we're going to be headed with that. So once we get to our list, it should be a pretty fun list. So what have you guys been up to this week? What is going on?
Oh, thought of a new one. Yeah, busy week for me. Planting trees and shrubs. Not reading a whole lot, although I am reading The Big Door Prize, which the Apple show is based on.
Right.
Really enjoying that book. It's completely different than the show, which, I mean, not completely. It's still basic premise, I guess, but the characters are a lot different, which surprised me. So really enjoying.
Are they even like the same names, characters, or are they just totally different?
If I could remember anyone's name in the show, I would either confirm or deny that.
Right.
I can't remember anyone's name in anything, so gotcha. I know their names in the book. So apparently I just have to read it.
Awesome. You watching that show, Chris?
No, I was about to ask, what is that?
So it's on Apple TV. It drops Wednesdays, just like Ted Lasso. It's the premise is this mysterious machine shows up into this town, and it gives you, if you use it, it gives you your life potential.
Okay.
So it's about the town just completely uprooting stuff they normally do and changing their lives based on a machine. And it's really, so I know The Big Door Prize.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah, I really like that show. Spoilers for ahead, but it's the best thing I watched this week. It's not even close. I mean, I like it a lot better than Ted Lasso.
Oh no, you're breaking my heart.
I know. I love
Ted
Lasso
for sure.
I mean, when you're going into love, there's really not much. I guess there's a lot of them. I guess there's many different kinds of love, but anyway, Chris, what have you been up to?
I've also been busy. I don't remember the last time I read a book. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, maybe longer. So tonight's my catch-up night, actually. But I watch my usual stuff like Succession. I did love Ted Lasso this week. Superman and Lois was immaculate. They haven't missed this season so far.
That was good. That was the best one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they really did some cool stuff. That ending, I'm still kind of reeling from that last shot. Not to spoil it for anybody, but it was just really, really cool. Didn't see that coming. And I got to see Renfield this week. Huh?
I said I don't think Steve watched the ending because his face looks very confused.
No, I watched it. Yeah. For sure.
I'm glad I didn't say anything then for a second.
No, I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I saw Renfield this week. That was probably my highlight.
Was it what you expected it to be?
Yes. It from that first trailer, it didn't really say what it was. It was just kind of looked goofy, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is over the top. It's gory, but it's really fun. I liked it a lot. And Nicolas Cage's Dracula was perfection.
Cool.
Yeah, Nick Cage in a movie, I can't imagine you're not going to like it.
Yeah, usually, I'm pretty good with that one.
It's okay to enjoy things that you like. You know, that's what makes things.
I don't know. On the internet, I heard you're not supposed to like things you like.
Well,
I heard you're only supposed to like things other people like. That's what I heard on Twitter.
True.
All right.
That is true.
I might be
Yeah.
wrong. You should just boot me off, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you next week, Jim.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So like Big Door Prize, Mandalorian, Ted Lasso. Haven't watched any movies. Haven't read anything, as you may have noticed from my updated Twitter name. It's been a while now. But I mean, the weather's been great, so I've been outside working the yard, doing a lot of cleanup. Snow's almost gone, so that's been great. Good time of year, fantastic time of year.
Yes.
So, other than that, that's been my week. So how's the soccer going?
Good. It's comical to watch 5-year-olds run around trying to play soccer.
Yeah.
When they kick the ball, generally we're like, yeah, So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. We have a good time. Josiah loves it. Today was the only cold day of the week. It was in the 40s today, and of course, it's today the soccer game. So we're outside, and he's playing in a jacket and gloves, and anyway, it was a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. So, if you haven't already talked too much about it, what's the best of the week for you, Jim? I mean, you kind of spoiled it with your
The Big Door Prize.
Big Door Prize, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've laughed at a TV episode like that in a long time. Me and my wife were both really laughing at that episode, and then it ended with heart.
I think it was my least favorite.
See, that's so weird to me because it was by far the funniest.
Oh no, last week's was the funniest for the dancing, but this week was awkward, uncomfortable, funny. Like,
funny because I didn't get that at all. And I know you thought it felt like a standalone, and I don't. I think it really makes their daughter story move forward.
Well, I'm interested in the. I don't want to spoil anything for Chris because he is going to watch it. I'm interested in the blank ticket thing.
Oh, that he got that he.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just came with the machine.
But that makes me wonder if he used it to make the one that he actually got. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to talk about this without spoiling it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, we don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge recommend for me as far as watching.
Yeah.
I think if you like Ted Lasso, you like this show. It's got that blend. I mean, it's a comedy. It's not, but it does have a lot of serious relationship issues, things that happen. I mean, and really not anything that happened, things that have happened.
Right.
So it's.
Have either of you seen that new one with Bob Odenkirk? Lucky Larry or Lucky whatever it's called.
No.
We watched the first episode of that. That's really good too.
Is that on Apple?
I think it's on Apple Plus. It might be on No, it's on AMC. It's on one of those.
Apple Plus.
Apple or AMC. Whatever.
It's funny. I was talking to my daughter in Missouri on the phone, and I called it. I said, "We need to really Apple Skype," and she thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Apple Skype
made me sound like a 50-year-old. I almost saying.
What is Apple Skype?
It's FaceTiming, but Skyping.
Yeah.
I know Skype.
So the best for you, Chris, was it Renfield or was it something else?
It was Renfield, yeah. Things came close, but Renfield was the big thing for me.
Yeah. So I had two. Mandalorian was the best episode for me this week. Did you?
Either.
I tried to catch up the other day. I felt
okay. Well, then never mind. Okay, Ted Lasso. Then you both watched that, right?
Oh yeah.
I told Jim earlier in the week, his speech had me thinking I could go play professional soccer. Like,
oh yeah.
By the time he was done speaking, I felt like I should suit up and go out there and score a goal.
You told me that? I don't remember us even talking about Ted Lasso.
Yeah, well, I tweeted it and I DM'd you, and then with that and Mandalorian, and since you hadn't seen them, you probably just skipped over it so that you didn't get stuff spoiled.
Yeah, oh, that's right. That's right. You did tell me that. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. So
Yeah.
I didn't go back and read the tweet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be a footballer after that speech.
It was great.
Not even
it?
soccer.
Wasn't
I want to be a footballer.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like a hoorah. It was just like a real down, to the core speech that you would give anybody.
The first thing I thought of was, is Chris going to tear up his belief sign on the show tomorrow night?
I'm considering it. As I was watching him tear his, I was like, do I need to tear mine now? I don't know.
That's the first thing I thought of. Isn't that funny how you've affected my TV watching, sir?
I was also I forget how sudden.
We are 3 days after you. If you watched Gathering of the Geeks this week, you saw Chris tear up his believe sign.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. Now go ahead.
But now if I don't tear it up, what are we going to do?
Well, we can edit this. So
okay.
If you watch Gathering of the Geeks, Chris did not tear up his belief sign.
I mean, that was an expensive sign. I had to print it in my own home.
You know how much ink costs.
Right. It's a lot. And time went into it. I don't know if I want to do it.
I don't even understand why ink costs that much. What do they put in it?
I don't know either. It kind of blows my mind. It should be cheaper, shouldn't it?
You would think, after 2 years that they made printers available to the general public, that it would drop in price. It has not.
It's still cheaper now it's still cheaper to go to the store and have them print it out, or to order prints from Amazon. Yeah.
I used to, for years, I would always just buy a printer every year because it was cheaper than buying ink. I'd wait till Black Friday, get a printer for like $20 or $30. That was good to go.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So, yeah, it's only one episode of Mandalorian left. You guys need to watch that. And, man, I wanted to talk about that so much. But, oh well. What are you going to do? So, that was the best of the week.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Back to Mandalorian. I did get to the Jack Black cameo. So
Chris hasn't seen it.
No, but I knew he was in it. I've seen the picture of him, and I think Lizzo is in it too.
Yeah.
Like right after Super Mario Brothers came out, everybody was flooding my timeline with love for Jack Black from that and Mandalorian.
Who's the other person in Mandalorian?
Lizzo.
Lizzo, the singer.
Oh,
she's a singer.
I wouldn't know that.
And isn't she like a flutist?
Is she? I have no idea.
I think she plays the flute. Yeah.
Jazz flute.
One time at band camp. Yeah.
I don't know. See, if you finished Anchorman, you would have knew what I was talking about.
I made it 20 minutes. So that does not make the best of the week for me.
So he was going to watch Anchorman. He said, starting it now. 19 minutes later, I got a DM that says, yeah, I can't watch this. I'm done.
Why?
Now. Will Ferrell is so cringe for me. Like, I can't deal with Will Ferrell.
A lot of people don't like Will Ferrell, and even more people I found do not like Vince Vaughn.
I can handle him in a little bit, but I don't know what it is about Will Ferrell.
I love
his face.
I love Will Ferrell.
It might be.
I don't dislike Will Ferrell. I like a lot of stuff he's in. Like Step Brothers is one of my favorite things ever.
I've never seen it.
It's so funny.
Well, because I know there's a scene where something happens to a drum set, and I don't want to watch that. So I haven't watched that movie.
It is pretty funny though, if you can get past that. Well, I mean, even that scene is funny, but I understand.
Yeah. So I've never watched that movie.
It's ridiculous, but it's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so I will do I will show you first this week so I can close out this window of what I've got here. This is my Bat Cave, and it's got all the minis. So you got Nightwing, Robin there, Bane, Batman. Up top you got Ivy, Scarecrow, and Batgirl. And then the Bat Signal lights up there. So, yeah. Cool.
Are those the die-cast figures, Steve?
Yes, they are.
That's so cool.
So when did you get that? And where?
I've had it about a year and a half, I guess.
So we've been talking. I don't remember you ever mentioning that.
I probably did, and you probably just don't remember. I posted pics of it when I got it, but
I would say you're wrong, but I believe you. Nice. So do you change around decorating it?
Uh-oh.
We lost you.
There we go. Am I back?
Yep.
So yeah, I do have a whole bunch of the diecast minis, but these are all the Bat family ones, so they go the best with the cave, really. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, doesn't that set come with like 20 characters? That specific set?
No, this one comes with. Actually, there are some more. Yeah, there's Superman. There's Green Lantern.
Why does
bunch
Superman come with the Batcave?
I don't remember. I'm just making stuff up now.
Oh man, I apologize for questioning you.
He just talking about
I
heroes.
don't remember which ones came with the cave and which ones came in my separate sets because I have some Marvel sets and then I have some DC sets as well. And but I think it was just those 8 or 9. Oh, there's a Catwoman in there too.
If Superman came with a Marvel set, I'd be really impressed.
Oh, and it looks like Black Canary down there too. So yeah, they're all there.
Nice.
So what do you got for us? Either one of you.
You got anything, Chris?
Yeah, I do actually.
Cool.
So last time I was on the show, this is what I wanted to show you guys, but it didn't come in time. It actually came in 3 days later. But my Bela Lugosi Dracula finally got here. I don't think you can see him very well.
Yep.
But, yeah, there we go. He is pretty awesome. Can't get
that is awesome.
Yeah, I like the cape. It's really weighty for an action figure, which is surprising. The sculpt is really cool, which it won't focus for whatever reason. But yeah, this is my favorite action figure I have at the moment.
Who makes that one?
This is from NECA. It's part of the Universal Monsters line.
Did it come with like different head sculpts? And
it does come with different head sculpts. I keep them over here. Oh, I just lost one of them somewhere in the comics, but this is a creepy smiling head. I don't know if you can see that.
Cool.
Yeah, he comes with another head that's more mischievous, I suppose, what I would call his expression. Comes with different hands. He comes with a bat that I would move, but as soon as you move it, it falls apart. So let's just imagine a bat on a stick. That's what it comes with. It's a really cool piece. And the NECA Universal Monsters, some of my favorites. I have a couple more back there with the Frankenstein and the Mummy. That's, I think, my favorite action figure line at the moment. I'm collecting the majority of them.
You think they'll make a Nick Cage Dracula?
They might, because they made a Munsters Herman and Grandpa, and there's a Lily.
Right.
So if that thing can get merchandise,
yeah,
I would think Renfield will at some point.
Cool.
And I will be there to buy it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told either one of you that I finally watched the first episode of, The Addams Family Girl. Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday? Did you like it?
I did enjoy the first episode. I haven't. That was like a month and a half ago. I haven't made it to the second episode yet. But it's not from lack of disliking it. It's just, life's busy.
Yeah.
So.
I like that show.
Yeah, I did too. I have a board game.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is a 2-player game where obviously one person plays as the Empire and one plays as the Rebellion, and you hide the rebel base on a planet. It's a kind of a map of the whole Star Wars universe, different planets. You hide your base on one of them, and the Empire has to destroy it in a certain amount of moves. Oh no, the Death Star. You hide the Death Star. I'm sorry, and then the rebels have to find it and destroy it. You hide something. It's been 4 years since.
Maybe you both hide something. Maybe the Empire hides the Death Star.
Both
you hide the.
Because that would be
No?
silly. Because then no one's looking.
That's
So,
true.
Well, if you're both looking for the thing that the other one hid.
Right.
Like,
Haven't you ever had both of your boys go play hide and seek and they both have to hide?
Yeah, but I don't.
Keep you
I'm
busy
working.
for a while.
Well, sometimes
Oh,
I
I'm
do hide. You're right, but that's just to make the game last, and I can take a nap. But no. Anyway, this is a game my wife actually enjoyed playing with me. We never finished the game. That's what's weird because it was so few and far between us playing it with a younger toddler at that time. So we did during nap
Right.
time. So we would play it, and we'd have to learn the rules as we went. So we were going, it would take us a long time, and then we got to stop, and then we'd start over. So we never finished the game, but it's a pretty fun game to the point we got to. I'd love to see who wins sometime.
Yeah. So what, were you having a problem shooting your photon down the air vent, or?
Well, Scotty
was
beat me
the-
twice last night. It was wonderful.
All right.
Sorry, Mom.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a game I never even heard of that game. That looks
Oh
pretty
yeah, it's a great game. It's you can put another title on it, it would be good.
cool. Sure.
Not just because of Star Wars, but
Right. Nice.
it's not a cheap game. I'll say that.
No. I already played the breaking news thing. I'm not going to play it again. But news this week, I guess maybe the Flash trailer or teaser for the next trailer or the trailer for the next teaser for the next trailer came out. Seems people have opinions about that. I have not watched it. I've avoided both of the Flash trailers to this point, I guess.
Any particular reason why?
I just don't want spoilers if I can. Like, I know there's going to be a bunch of appearances of different people from different versions of the films, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to hear about them anyway, probably, but I don't want to see them ahead of time if I can help it. So I want to be surprised by as much as I can for this.
Okay. That's something I guess I don't go out of my way to avoid spoilers. I also don't talk to a whole lot of people, so I mean, I still don't know what happens to Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Are you gonna watch
Harry
the
died a
show?
horrible death.
Gonna read it with my boys.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be fun. That's a really cool experience.
Yeah, I think so. I have read the first book and I saw the second movie in a drive-in theater on a date. So I don't remember it. So
Don't remember
Just
the date
remember-
or don't remember the movie.
I remember Dobby or Dolby or whatever the
Dobby's that little house
Yeah,
elf.
so that's all I
Nice.
remember.
Cool. Are you looking forward to the series on that, Chris?
For Harry Potter, yes, I am pretty excited
Yeah,
for that.
me too. Yeah.
I know a lot of people said, "Well, why do this? We just had the movies," but I don't know. I think it'll be fun.
My wife said the same thing, and she loves the books, loves the movies. Like, why would you do that? And I was like, why not? I was like, if
Yeah.
you enjoy it,
Well, also, I would look at it like this with you guys. You have two little guys who could grow up watching that series now.
Yeah.
Depending how they do it, maybe it won't be age appropriate, but just saying they have that to look forward to now. Or even my daughter, who's 9 now, she'll watch it. We'll watch the series together. We
Yeah,
couldn't do
right.
that with the movies when they were coming out because, of course, she wasn't born, and now she doesn't care. They're too long. She's not interested.
So do you think is it going to kind of mirror the original story, or are they going to branch off to other stories?
that's what I heard. It was going to mirror the original
Yeah.
stories.
From what I understand, J.K. Rowling is much more involved in this to make sure that it's the books. Because I haven't read the books, but from what I understand, the movies started to do their own thing after the second movie. They started to kind of go away from the books and just keep the important stuff, which is,
Right.
any adaptation.
Yeah.
Sure.
But the
Yeah.
series will be closer.
Yeah. And then what are your thoughts on the Flash trailer?
I was also trying to avoid the trailer for the trailer, but
Yeah.
it's all over my timeline, so I keep seeing it.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but I will do my best not to watch that full trailer that's coming. I don't want to see it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to watch the whole thing, and it's going to be my highlight of the week on the show.
You might like it. I hope you do.
I just know a lot of people have been complaining about some of the CGI, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it's not even final production.
Actually, what I really hope is Emmett don't want to watch it, and I spoil it for him. That's what I want to have happen.
You might be able to do that because I don't know if Emmett is going to watch the trailer.
Just joking.
You might, though.
Speak.
But yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say that what you're saying about people picking on the CGI, I don't really understand that either because they're taking, it's a frame in motion, and you're pausing it, so
Right.
it's not going to look good. I
Right.
think even if you pause like Gollum from Lord of the Rings at certain points, he looks horrible.
Right.
It's just the way it's their effects. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Agree.
for sure. Either way, I think it's going to be a fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't think I've looked forward to a movie this much in quite a while. Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Emmett, before I forget, I still need to know. Maybe you know what he meant by his tweet about what's the show you guys are watching on the series?
Which one?
Starts with a P. The one you just mentioned. You've been watching. I want to say progression, but it's not progression.
Succession.
Succession. There you go. It starts with an S. Yes, but he made a comment the other day about it being. Oh man, now I can't even remember. Did you see his comment about Succession?
I think so, but I can't remember what it was right now. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll look it up though.
I asked him. He never responded, and I was kind of hoping that you might know.
You
what
might
he
not
meant
have
by
seen it.
Here we go.
Oh, a secondhand embarrassment.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What does
I have
that
no
mean?
idea what he meant by that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the
you
one.
just remind me. I need to ask him because I don't know what
Yeah.
he's
Ask him
talking
that
about.
tomorrow night.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he loves the show, so
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
start
sure what he
saying
means.
that. Though. I like it.
It's fun to say. It's fun to say. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because like, what's
All
first-hand
right.
embarrassment? Is that when you're embarrassed? I guess
Is that
first-hand, second-hand,
Right.
adopted embarrassment.
Is that when you get? See, that's what I thought. I thought maybe there's shows I watch like Will Ferrell. I get embarrassed watching him. So to me, it sounded like it was knocking the show, but I know it's not because he likes the show. So that's
Yeah,
why
I
it threw
don't.
me.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ask him myself though. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's what tomorrow's show's gonna be called. The one about secondhand embarrassment.
Boom. I think I'm gonna tell him that later too. Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's going to take us into our. There's no viewer mail this week, so that's going to take
Jason,
us
right.
straight into.
Jason. I just kept.
As you
I
should.
think the quick cuts are like part of the show.
I hate you so much.
Okay, nice. Yeah, cutting people off is fun. So,
Especially when you.
all right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Jason, this show is our top 10 comic book movie moments or scenes, and we're going to start with number 10, and we're going to start with Chris. As always, our guest gets to go first.
So just to preface this list was being changed up until 20 minutes before I got the link from you guys.
Cool.
It was very hard to decide on these for me. But number 10, I'm going with the club scene from Blade. That opening,
Oh,
I love
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen this. I've seen the club scene. So yeah,
It's-
where
it's-
Wayne's blood.
It's very unique and it's just cool. And the song plays and it's just neat. I like it.
Yes, I agree. That's a good scene.
It is. I almost looked for a Blade scene because I knew there had to be something, and that would have been a good one. Dang. I might swap out my number 10. We'll see.
We could swap while we're going. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do
Oh,
whatever. you
yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Sometimes Steve will even come up with 10 and just says, "I had that one on my list too," and then he adds.
I hope
That
we're
was
ready
just
for the
one
marathon
week.
show.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Anything else you want to say about that?
No,
No, we're done with that.
I don't think so.
All right, my number 10 is Shazam, where Billy meets his mom, leaves her thing, runs off the roof. It's also in the trailer. Jumps off the room, yells Shazam, takes off. I think that's just an awesome scene. Just a beautiful transformation. And
Is that in the second one or the first one?
first one. I haven't seen the second
Okay.
one yet.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I just remember thinking that's like every 8-year-old boy's dream to jump off a roof, yell Shazam, and fly away. It's just awesome.
It's the
That would be
library.
pretty cool. Yeah. Don't try it. I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Unless you have an umbrella.
It's a great scene, though.
Yeah, that's my number 10. Now, I have some honorable mentions that will probably actually take this one off, but I had to get a Shazam in there.
Okay. I like that your honorable mentions are higher than your
Yeah,
actual number 10 because you need to get it on the list. I love
Yeah.
that. That's classic Jim.
it's original, Jim.
All right. My number 10 is the battlefield no man's land scene from Wonder Woman. Great scene. Other than the cringy whole thing about her not being a man, no man can cross it. The scene itself is fantastic.
So, does that scene go all the way through to where she goes in that room and does that whole thing, or is that just the field?
This is just the battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah,
But isn't it one scene?
it is.
Okay.
Wait, it is what one scene?
Isn't it? I think
Because she
Isn't it
goes
like-
from that to the rooms.
right.
Yeah.
Isn't
So-
that it? She crosses the battlefield, goes into the town, cleans the room out. I think she hits a tank or something, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine is specifically just on the battlefield with her
okay.
running across the no man's land part of it. Yeah.
See, I can't even remember that part. I remember the rooms and her the slow motion leg
Right.
sweeps, and
The No Man's
Right.
Land thing was cool. That's on my honorable mentions, actually.
it's mine too,
Nice.
even though I don't remember it.
Yeah. Even though you don't remember that bump Shazam.
It's a lasting
No,
impression
that
that
one,
counts.
that one was not on Shazam.
Yeah, for sure. Number 9.
So my number 9 is actually Wonder Woman centric too. It's from Dawn of Justice, her entrance, and then leading into the first shot of the Trinity standing together.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great scene.
Yeah, that's. Can you imagine if you wouldn't have known that was going to happen? Like if that hadn't
Yeah.
been shown in the trailer?
I wish it
that would have
wasn't.
been. I know. People would have lost their minds. That's probably one of the coolest pictures too. Like if you had a poster.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
a good
lot.
looking shot.
Yeah. Jim,
I liked it.
I liked it.
It's an honorable mention. Possibly better than Shazam. Yeah, I've only ever watched that movie once, so I don't have anything to say about it off, where I can give any kind of insight. But I agree, those three in a scene would almost have to make someone's list.
And is it I've killed gods before or I've fought gods before? So the way she delivers that line is.
I think it's I've killed gods before. I don't remember.
That line is great. Yeah, it's good. Real good. All right.
All right, my number 9 is the only Batman on my list. It's in The Dark Knight. It's when the Joker does a magic trick.
That's a good one.
I knew I would enjoy that movie from that scene on. Yeah, I find it humorous and disturbing, and he really sets the tone for the movie going forward, I think. So, yeah, The Dark Knight, Joker does a magic trick.
And what is that tone?
I actually don't think that's dark and gritty at all.
No, it's pretty dark.
It is dark though. I don't know. Well, the movie's gritty. So if the scene
That
is
was
dark and the movie's
humor.
gritty,
Whereas
Well, I can't believe we haven't done our top 10 darkest and grittiest moments.
in real life or in movies.
In movies. All right. My number 9 is Quicksilver. This is the, I'm probably going to get this wrong, Days of Future Past, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. and that scene with the music that's playing. I mean, it happens with him in more than one movie, three movies, I believe, but that one right there is my favorite because he also does it in Dark Phoenix,
Does he?
or not Dark Phoenix,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, running up to Magneto, and then he also does it in one other, I believe. Yeah, he does it when he runs into the X Mansion, into the mansion, when he's trying to save. When what's his name gets killed?
I think that's
Scott's brother.
Apocalypse. Yeah, that's Apocalypse.
Right, it happens there, and then it happens at the end as well when he runs up. When Magneto's got all the stuff, and he runs up the steps. Yeah, but this one is my favorite. This was
the first one.
Yes, and the music playing. It's just a fun scene. Yeah, just a fun scene.
I love that scene.
Yeah, I love this scene too. It's on my list. It's a lot of the stuff on my list is stuff I've watched over and over on YouTube clips.
Yeah,
I love that scene.
Cool.
I even go back and watch him how he positions them to make sure everyone goes up the right way. And
it's kind of one of the best scenes in any X-Men movie displaying the character's powers, I think.
Yeah.
Another one on my list, I think, does it better. But I agree with you.
Number 8.
That's unusually a festive sound for what I'm about to put on this list.
Okay.
It's the scene from The Crow when Eric Draven gets back to the apartment, sees the mask on his mirror, and starts painting his face. And it ends with that famous shot of him standing in the broken window with the crow on his shoulder. And you have, I want to say it's the Dead Soul song playing, the one from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, man.
I think that's the song that's playing.
It's been a long time since I've watched this movie.
I've never seen it.
And I love
really?
it.
Yeah.
Oh. You wouldn't like it.
It's dark and gritty.
Yes. It is very dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
It's one of my
I'm
favorite
sure I'll watch
movies.
it someday. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I really enjoyed it when it first came out. I wish I would have saw it in theater. I didn't see it in theater though.
I remember seeing it in theater as a kid, and I was amazed by it.
I saw it. I was hungover on a couch in my apartment.
Man, you're old.
Well,
Were you drinking when you were 13?
no, I was
Okay.
I was over 21.
Okay. Wait, I don't even remember when that came out.
94.
So I was 18 when it came out. So I
Right.
probably didn't see it for 3 more years. But
Yeah, because you didn't drink before you were 21.
never.
Right, Jim? Right, Jim's mom?
They're still
All right.
all that vodka's watered down in their cabinet.
That's right. That's right. All right. What's your number 8, Jim?
My number 8 is Captain America: Civil War, the airport scene.
Mm.
The
I
whole
almost
scene?
just had Ant-Man become a giant man,
Uh-huh.
but I can't take anything out of that scene.
Right.
From Cap and Spider-Man fighting and talking about coming from New York to The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it just combined everything that's really cool about the MCU.
Yeah, it's a great scene. The whole thing is really good, and I've actually got part of it up more on my list that I'll talk about specifically. But of course, the best part of that scene, Chris, right, is that they run towards each other for like 8 minutes, even though they start out like 20 feet away from each other.
You know, people make
It's like you have the camera zoom thing they do where they're zooming in while they're moving the camera back, or zooming out while they're moving the camera in, or whatever it is. Like,
I
for a
actually
long
love
time.
it though when they're doing the run because it reminds me of the old X-Men animated series opening. You know,
yeah,
They're on different tarmacs.
maybe like they were running in slow motion in their heads, so that's why it took so long.
well, I think they were probably
Destroyer
showing.
was there.
I think they were kind of resetting the time each time they showed a different character. So that's kind of
Mhm.
how I justify it in my head. Like they're back to the beginning with each
That's
character.
funny. I don't have to justify it in my head. I just enjoy it.
Yeah,
Well, I
to me,
enjoyed
it's
it.
just they're running. It's cool.
I enjoyed it. It's just one. It's just something I noticed. It's not. It didn't ruin the film for me.
I
It
think
is
my
my
favorite.
number.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
No,
it's
let's
okay.
go.
I say my favorite moment is like what Jim mentioned when Spider-Man and Cap are talking about New York. I love that bit. That's probably my favorite of it.
Yeah, it's the whole thing's good. And then Vision flying through Ant-Man. He just moved through me. I just, it's funny. It's well done.
It is. All right. So my number 8. This scene right here in No Way Home. Um, Spidey steals the box from Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange knocks him out of his body, and the Spider-Man body is still using its Spidey sense to avoid Doctor Strange still in the box from him. So it really shows how strong his spider sense is. That he doesn't even have to be in his body, and the body itself is faster than Doctor Strange can reach for stuff. The rest of that whole scene is great too because he sticks it to Doctor Strange. It shows how powerful how Peter's powers actually are pretty strong. So I like that scene a lot.
I haven't seen it.
No, you haven't seen No Way Home? Oh man,
Wait, which is the first Spider-Man movie?
Homecoming.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
If the others ever drop on Disney Plus, I'll watch them. Because me and my wife loves Spider-Man movies. She really does.
Uh-huh.
It's not anywhere to stream. So
Where did I watch it the other day?
It's on
It's somewhere to
Stars, I believe.
stream.
Stars has some kind of deal with Disney for the time being, and that they're on there, I believe.
Oh.
Stars actually has a lot of stuff, from what I understand.
I swear I streamed No Way Home the other day.
are you talking about like MapQuest? I can't find my way home.
Hulu
No.
On Hulu?
premium subscription. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Amazon Prime.
No, it's not on
You
Amazon.
probably. Yeah.
You can probably buy it on Amazon Prime.
Premium subscription. You might have to buy it. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
because
Apple TV. Apple TV. It says $14.99. Amazon Prime. It just says premium subscription. I streamed it the other day for free.
you probably have to buy like Stars. through
No, I
Amazon.
don't have stars. I don't have stars. I streamed it last week on some service for free.
Okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We will let you know because not unless you got a free trial to Stars or something.
I also want to watch it so we could find out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
I
No
may have
Way
watched it
Home?
on. I may have watched it on Vudu that was downloaded from a digital code. I'm not sure.
It was a good movie, though. And that's a cool scene. I didn't realize that it was the spider sense reacting, though.
Yeah.
That took someone to explain it to me for me to get like, oh, that's what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That Peter Tingle's pretty strong.
Yeah,
Are they still? I wonder if they're still going to call it the Peter Tingle going forward.
I don't think so. I mean, they kind of joked about it in No Way Home a little bit, but yeah. All right. Find anything, Jim?
no, I stopped looking.
Oh, okay. Number 7.
So for this one, I went with Avengers Endgame, the Avengers Assemble scene. Cap saying, there we go. Him saying Avengers Assemble is something I had been waiting for since First Avenger came out.
Yeah.
And I finally got in that scene, and I don't think it could have been more glorious.
So did you read Avengers comics?
Some, yes. And I read Captain America comics.
Okay, because while it's a cool scene, I had no reference for it at all. You know what I'm saying? So I've never heard him. I really didn't care that he said it.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, and I know that's a weird thing because people
No.
seem to love that. So I had a hard time. Well, I mean, Steve obviously knows my favorite scene in that movie. Most people do. But the last hour and 20 minutes of that movie is just fantastic. You know,
Mhm.
I don't think I could. I don't know. See, I think there's two scenes ahead of that one for me, but it's a great scene. I feel like I'm taken away from it because it's a great scene. It's
I like that scene, but you're right. For me, the whole like I actually can't really split Infinity War and Endgame. To me, it's just one
No.
very long movie.
Me too.
see, I I don't personally enjoy Infinity War near as much as I enjoy Endgame, and that's I don't think that's the popular opinion. I think that's
I'm
pretty.
kind of with you because Endgame has more of the team stuff that I want, you
Mhm.
know, and that ending. How do you beat that ending? You know, even if it doesn't make sense, I don't care. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, and I, it's the good guys winning. You know that's what I want. I don't care how good of a story it is for Thanos getting the rings, the rings, the stones. I want it. I don't know. I prefer Endgame, but great scene. I mean, I love that scene too.
It's
Don't
cool.
get me wrong.
And that's one of those scenes that if you're in a theater, I think it's that much better. And
So that's
Endgame
one of
had a
my
couple
biggest
of
regrets
those.
is not watching this in theater, and
Yeah,
that's because I didn't enjoy Infinity War as much as most people. So
right.
that's why I didn't go watch Endgame in
Yeah.
theater. So
I
anyway,
don't.
I wish I would have.
In theater, it kind of depends because everybody got so loud every
Oh
time. I
yeah.
saw it, I think 2 or 3 times in theaters, and everybody got so loud at certain points. It was hard to really hear it. You know, it felt like people. We were at a football match, Ted
Yeah.
Lasso football, not American football, because
Right.
after the speech, we're all footballers. So
Yes.
Right.
people got so loud, it was kind of hard to hear stuff. But it is an
Yeah.
experience. I'll say that.
Well, that's why I prefer watching movies at home because I can see and hear everything. But there's certain moments, like if I throw out the rest of the movie, that being there has that gives me that feeling, and that was definitely one of them for sure. All right, what do you got, Jim? Or was
Uh,
that you?
hold on, just
That was good.
That was Chris's. Okay, so we're on number 7.
okay. Well, my number 7 was Time in a Bottle, Days of Future.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. Yeah. Did you like him in? Uh,
WandaVision.
WandaVision? Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with him. He wasn't my favorite
Yeah.
character in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a boner. But yeah, no, WandaVision is still my favorite Marvel show.
Right.
Followed closely by Hawkeye. I really enjoyed Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's so good, man. Oh,
That was fun. I didn't expect it to
Yeah.
be so fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy the episodic TV by the decades. I
Mhm.
really like that. I mean,
yeah.
normally I'm not an artsy kind of guy like that, you know, but that really worked for me.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah,
All right. So that
Here we
takes
go.
us to my number 7, Ragnarok. The arena scene. We're friends from work. Thor fighting Hulk. Man, it's a fun scene. Hulk comes out, and of course, Thor sees him, and then Loki in the stands behind him, scared out of his mind, and then Loki going crazy when Hulk smashes Thor around on the ground like Loki got it in Avengers. Just everything, even the after that, talking about who won the fight. But yeah, that scene right there is one of my definitely one of my favorites in the MCU.
I've seen it on YouTube. I haven't watched the whole movie. I started the movie. I had a hard time with that movie. I found that very cringy,
Oh,
but
it's
the humor
work.
just don't work for me.
Yeah,
But I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed that. I know him from work.
right.
I'm guessing, didn't he do that from a Make a Wish? Didn't he improvise that line and got it from like from some kid from the
I
Make-A-Wish
don't know.
or something? And let's just say he did. Just give him all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. That's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the nicest guy in the world. I've never seen Jane Foster do that.
That's right.
So anyway,
John Cena does.
Mhm. He holds the record for the most.
That's right.
who's keeping score? That's what I want to know.
Make-A-Wish.
Oh yeah.
And probably WWE, so they can promote him every time.
His explanation for all the wishes was nice too, but that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, yeah, but no, yeah, definitely a fun scene. Just
Yeah,
just a
great
stupid. Anytime those two fight is great. And one thing Marvel does, and again, this will come up later, is they have a way of making all of their characters look strong.
Mhm.
Like there's never any of them who are overmatched who can't compete with the others. And I personally like it. I know some people don't like it, but I do like it.
Did you see Reed Richards go up against the Scarlet Witch?
That wasn't Reed Richards.
I don't look like Reed Richards.
That was J.K. Richards from a different universe.
Oh, okay. But I think you're onto something though. I like that too. You know, when a character shouldn't be matched with another character, it shows, but they don't outright show them getting like demolished.
Right.
You know, there's always something there where they can come back from, which I think is
Yeah.
cool.
Always something to. Okay.
Number 6.
Number 6 for me is it's a simple one. It's from Batman '89. The opening scene with the two criminals on the rooftop. Batman grabs the one. I'm Batman, and I love it. That has stayed with me since childhood.
So I read that book before seeing the movie.
Mhm.
Oh, la ti da. Jim
Well, then
can
I'll
read.
just shut up now. Let's see how you go solo. Me and Chris will leave it.
Describing my
We're
marriage.
out of here.
We're out of this place. I've been in other places.
No, so what I was going to say is I read the book, and the scene in the movie is exactly how you read it on the pages. It's just, it's, yeah, if I would have put down what I was reading on screen, that would have been it. It was just very well done. And I think
It's definitely
that's the
iconic.
moment everyone forgot that, hey, that's Mr. Mom, so.
I think it was the perfect way to introduce that Batman. I was too young to be part of the, hey, that's Mr. Mom thing. But as a kid, you see that and no one else matters. Like, I don't care who that guy is. That's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
when you
I
say
watch that
something,
scene, I still feel that way.
when there's something so iconic that every other actor playing Batman afterwards has to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's like the equivalent of the Bond James Bond thing in a way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Good comparison there.
Yeah. All right. What's your number 6, Jim?
My number 6 is the X-Men scene that I think better exemplifies their power. It's young Magneto getting separated from his mom at the concentration camp.
Oh, the opening for
The opening
class.
for 3 of the movies.
Well, yeah, first class though is
Well, no, not even first class. It was the first X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And then they re-showed it from different points of view,
Right.
which I really enjoyed as well. But yeah, just them getting pulled away and him reaching for his mom and pulling the gates down. I thought that was just powerful. That's the best origin story in comics, I think.
I would agree with you.
I'm going to go with that. I think it is. I don't think there's a better one out there. So, I mean, would he have got his powers if that didn't happen? Apparently, yes, because other X-Men got powers. But how they pulled that power out was pretty fantastic. So that's my number 6.
Also, are there any? Can you think of any other characters played by 2 different actors where both the actors are the character? Like,
Ooh.
I mean, even Professor X with I'm still Patrick Stewart's the best in my mind. But Magneto, I'll take Ian McKellen, or I'll take oh god,
That other
Michael
guy.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, I'll take either one of them. They're both just perfect at it. I think they're.
I would
And
still
then,
take Fassbender.
Fassbender almost fits the character.
He does, yeah.
Just the name. Oh.
Oh, yeah, no, Fassbender was like perfectly cast for Magneto. I want to say even more so than Ian McKellen, who I love, but I think for me, Fassbender gets the edge.
Yeah, I have a hard time not imagining Ian McKellen old now. You know what I'm saying? I think he's too old, obviously too old for the character. So, if you would ask me that when that movie came out, I would say I don't think they can do better.
Right.
And I'm not sure I would have thought that if like a week later Fassbender would have been cast as, of course he would have been too young. So,
Right.
time. Time is a weird thing.
Cinematics.
It's a fickle,
Timey-wimey stuff, yeah.
it's a fickle thing to play with.
All right. Number 6 for you, Jim.
Mine would be X-Men, Young Men, Magneto, separated from his mom.
Oh, you just told
Wait, did we talk about that? Okay.
Okay. My number 6 is Logan and Laura in the forest. The fight at the end of Logan, or near the end of Logan. X-23, Laura Kinney is one of my favorite characters in all of comics, top 5 for me. And I think of all the legacy characters, I think down the road, her and Miles are the two that are still going to be very popular and be remembered as those characters. And with her and Logan fighting everybody off at the end, it's a great scene.
I love that scene. I love that they use Laura in that movie. That Daphne Keane was so good as that version of Laura.
Yeah.
I have not seen this movie still.
Oh,
It's good.
Yeah, I know. That's what I hear people love it or don't like it.
Yeah, I mean I love it, but at the same time, it's not the Wolverine movie I wanted. So there's always that for me. But it's a different kind of superhero film too.
Yeah,
it's much more like a Western.
and it's something I want to watch. It's not like I'm going out of my way not to watch it. Like not like the MCU movies on Disney Plus that I haven't seen. It's just because I really have to be in the right mood to watch them. I would like to watch Logan. It just hasn't happened. And what's that streaming on? Is it on
Disney?
It's on Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Watching the movie.
It's on Disney Plus, which is interesting considering how vulgar and violent it is.
Yes. I will watch that in the future.
now they also released a black and white version, and I don't know anybody who I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe somebody wanted to. Did you watch the black and white version, Chris?
I did not, because I waited so long to see blood on Wolverine's claws. I did not want it black and white.
Right. Yeah.
Because they let him loose in this movie. He gets to be Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have time for black and white on that.
No. Cool. Number 5.
I have another MCU pick. This is from one of my favorite MCU movies, Captain America: The First Avenger. It's the first meeting of Cap and Red Skull when they're on that catwalk, and the music starts to swell, and the catwalk, like, they move away from each other, and Red Skull pulls his face off, and the big reveal, and Cap just is like, what is this? It's just a really, really great scene. It's one of my favorites. I remember
the way you said that more than I enjoyed the scene.
well, that's kind of the way I read it. Like, that guy's face is a red skull. Who knew? It's cool. I like it.
It's a very cool scene. Yeah. It's man, they could have done so much more with Red Skull.
Oh,
I know they use him later, but man,
missed opportunity.
I guess Secret Wars after that will have the opportunity to get everybody back if they want. So recast or not, it depends. But
yeah, and that was kind of one of my things too. Like, you guys got rid of him really quick, and then when we see him again, he's not that.
Right. No.
Happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever read Civil War?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the movie better.
Yeah.
Movie has the airport scene.
As a whole, I think I agree with you, but the comic made me understand the Punisher, where I did not like him at all
You
until
know,
I read him in Civil War.
I think, and I could be completely on my own island here. The Punisher is the star of the Civil War book.
No, I think you're right.
He gets
Punisher and Spider-Man for me, but
they get the best material. Him and Spider-Man, they get the best material in that whole story. And there's that scene where Cap will not fight with him, and it's just I think one of the best things in Marvel Comics.
You mean where he won't fight with Cap?
Well, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and that's a scene specifically that I'm talking about. That I was like, I did not like the Punisher until I read that, and I was like, okay, maybe this guy has some sense of code. I go, it's just a brilliant scene of him getting his butt whooped and making me like that character. That's in my moments for comic books probably.
Mm-hmm. I put that in mine too. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. Good. All right.
All right. My number 5 is Superman 78, when Superman is flying Lois around.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's not very actiony, but I love the score, the music behind them flying. John Williams. Who is that?
Who
is that, Steve? Anyway, yeah, it's just I love the music. I love the idea that all she has to do is touch his finger and she can fly without hanging. That's kind of weird, but it's
and it keeps her warm as well.
Yeah,
he's more powerful.
Anyway, it's Superman, and
it's
it
great.
made you. I don't know. It was just cool.
Yeah.
So, probably the boringest scene on my list, but cool.
Very good. Yeah, man, I haven't watched the movie forever. I need to rewatch that.
It's been a long time since I watched it.
Yeah. All right. My number 5 is another. I mean, we talked about how we wish Wonder Woman would have showed up in BVS without it being spoiled. If this scene would have happened without already knowing it happened, and not just that, Spidey showing up at the airport scene because he'd already been in the movie, but just his whole role in the airport scene. Like we already talked about his conversation with Cap. This is a kid with almost no training, and he's keeping up with Bucky and Hawkeye.
He does more than keep up with them. He best.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but he's fighting the two of them at once, and then not Falcon. God, yeah, Falcon and Bucky, and then keeping up with Cap. And I hate the scene where they say, if Cap wanted to put you down, he would, because I don't believe that for a second. We see Spidey before he's even in his suit catching a car, flying at full speed, on the videotape, and Cap's not going to be catching a car. Those maybe because he didn't have his full spider senses yet. Because
or
that's
maybe
pretty much,
because you're just a Spider-Man fan.
But no, I mean he's basically bordering on precognition, so he avoids bullets and stuff. I mean he can avoid a punch and a shield from Cap. But his lines in that, the whole physics line and just everything with Spidey. His suit right there, great suit.
I think Peter Parker's humor.
That's a great suit.
Is my favorite part of the Spider-Man.
Yeah. So that was my number 5. So again, the airport scene, but specific to the Spidey stuff. Obviously, I'm not biased though.
I think I was hearing Phoebe.
A little bit, sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
She's going nuts about something.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is from The Batman, and it's the opening scene when you have his monologue and the criminals are all like looking around and scared of him, or just the idea of him, and it culminates with the subway scene, that fight. And to me, that is probably the best opening to a Batman movie we've seen yet.
I don't remember it. I've only seen it once.
I've seen it once. I've tried to see it 3 more times, and I haven't quite made it. I made it over an hour last time, and I was
It
pretty
is
happy
on
with
HBO
that.
Max.
It is. I heard that somewhere.
Rumor has it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will definitely revisit it again. I think I've told you before, once we have more to the universe, I think
Yeah.
I'll be more into this and its story as we go forward. But yeah, that is a cool scene, though. Very cool scene. And now that I have a better TV, I might be able to see it. So
It is very dark. Yeah, it's a dark scene. I think, like, if you're my TV, I had to adjust the brightness on it just because I wanted to see more of the detail. But then I realized it's just dark anyway, so it is what
Right.
it is.
yeah, cool, nice. So number 4. All right, what's your number 4, Jim?
My number 4 is also from Endgame.
Okay,
And it's when Captain America calls. I can never pronounce the hammer's name. Mjolnir?
Mjolnir,
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir? When he calls Millard.
Milton.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, I can't say it.
So this is also my number 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mostly because of Thor's reaction.
Mhm.
I
knew
love
it.
Thor's reaction when he catches it. Yeah, I knew it. And
Yeah.
it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I almost stood up and cheered when I was watching at home.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty
Yeah,
cool scene.
Yeah, because Thanos has the axe in Thor, and his person down,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting Thor to be calling it.
Mhm.
Right.
Like I said, I've never read the comics, so I didn't know Cap ever wielded Millard. And
Mjolnir.
Has he wielded it in the comics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just. I didn't know if it was just a movie thing or not.
And also Natasha also wields
really?
it. And that's why in
now they're just letting anybody handle it.
Yeah. How does that even work? She's like a killer.
that's why in Age of Ultron, it kind of wiggles when she touches it. It kind of shakes a little bit. It's kind of hinting at the comic book scene where she's able to wield it. I think it comes down to she's like one of the only ones left who is available at the time. I don't know the exact story, but I know she definitely wielded it in the comics. So
I
kind of want to read that now.
That would be an honorable mention now that you said that, the whole Age of Ultron picking up the hammer.
That's a fun scene, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I enjoyed that scene a lot.
Yeah.
I think that Cap could have picked up then, but he saw Thor's face. Was like, no, this is his. It's
Yeah.
up to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he
I
could have
agree.
at that point.
He definitely moved it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a look from Thor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying.
I wonder if maybe he wasn't worthy yet, though. I don't know.
What did he do between there and there to become worthy?
Ooh.
Save the kitten.
He did save a kitten, probably.
Yes. I don't know.
I think Winter Soldier was right after that. He didn't kill his best friend, so I guess that counts.
Right.
He made a new friend with Sam. I don't know.
I didn't kill my best friend either.
Well, there you go.
But I can pick up hammers, so it's crazy.
I can pick up certain hammers, not Milton, but hammers.
Milton is a great name for a hammer.
This is why I like you, Chris.
I want to buy a hammer just to name it Milton.
Milton, yeah.
Well, I guess you have Milton. I've been calling it Millard.
Millard. That's right.
I just recently learned how to pronounce it, but I think I like Milton better now.
Yeah, I'm going with it.
All right. So we share the same number 4, so that takes us to number 3.
I think it's no secret I love the X-Men. They're just as important to me as Batman is. So I couldn't do this list without something X-Men, and this is a huge thing for me. And it's from the first movie. It's Wolverine's introduction. When you see him cage fighting, and that to me blew my mind because like they got Wolverine right. I didn't need to see anything else. Just that one scene was enough to tell me that's Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is this character. And the way it's shot is cool because the first time you see him, he's kind of in the shadows. So that's neat. And then the way it just goes on, and I love the scene. It's great. I think he's even got a cigar. Yeah, he's got a cigar too. He pauses smoking to do the fight, then finishes the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a great scene. And then how's he end up getting in a fight with the bartender?
The guy he beats in the ring comes back to him wanting more money, and Wolverine kind of says, "Hey, that ain't happening." And then the bartender puts the shotgun to his head, and we do that awkward thing where he's like this. It's really weird. I still don't understand the logic of it.
But yeah,
I love it.
Yep,
yes.
I like that too.
Yeah. All right. What do you got for number 3, Jim?
This might be the first list we've ever done where everything you guys have mentioned could be on my list if I was, it's just okay. So my number 3 is the opening credits to the Watchmen movie. The times they are changing. I just love seeing the whole history from the Minutemen to the modern day Watchmen. It's the only one on my list I've went back and watched again today just to see it.
Right.
I just love that scene. So,
it's cool.
Can't really say much more about it.
It's a cool opening.
It really is.
I think if you don't know the story of Watchmen, which I didn't when I watched it, that was kind of like, a really cool way to ease me into that world.
Well, so I mean, and I'm not even sure until recently that I knew it was a progression of the Watchmen. You know what I'm saying? Of who the characters in the Watchmen, because it clearly goes the first night out to the second night out to Sally Jupiter to being pregnant to the new Silk Spectre. It's clearly a progression, and it's just really well done. It's just, and then the song, which I think scenes make me like songs more than I like songs because it's not like a song I would think is, oh, that's amazing. Put that montage to it, and I'm all in.
I feel that way about the music too in movies, though. There's a lot of songs I don't want to listen to separately, but when they're shown in a movie, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, Time in the Bottle that we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. It's not something I go out of my way to listen to, but I can't imagine watching that scene without hearing that song. And so,
I just thought of 2 more scenes since you mentioned that songs.
What 2?
Well, the one it made me think of immediately, and I can't believe it's not on my list, but I'm not going to change it now, is Iron Man showing up in Germany with Shoot the Thrill playing in a suit. Like, now when I hear that song, that's all I think of is that scene with him flying in and landing.
That makes me want to add something to my list, and it's too late.
So that was your number 3,
my number 3,
Jim? My number 3 is You've Got Me, Who's Got You? So this is the introduction for Lois to Superman. She falls, and he flies down the building and catches her.
And cuts her into 3 equal places.
Yeah. That would have made it interesting. That would have been a whole different movie.
Yeah.
I think what is that movie called? The horror version of Superman, Birthright or Burnright?
Burn.
I think it's Burn something.
Burn Bright.
Burnside.
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
There we go.
Hey, we got it.
It reminds me of that. That's a cool movie, I think.
I have not watched that yet.
It's kind of interesting. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's a cool what if.
Yeah.
Nice. So I actually considered this scene, Steve, when I was coming up with my him flying Lois around. But something about the music and that scene I like.
Right.
But yeah, this is a great scene.
Yep. I really. I mean, that's definitely a memorable one for me. Man, I gotta watch the movie again.
I
I
know.
might watch that tomorrow. I think. All right. Number
I had
two.
I had to get to the Nolan movies. Number two is the scene from The Dark Knight at the end when Batman and the Joker have the final confrontation and the Joker's hanging upside down, and they have that quick conversation, and the Joker tells him, "I think you and I are destined to do this forever." That is one of my absolute, well, I guess clear it's my number two favorite moments in any comic book film. I adore that scene, and it's also bittersweet because as you're watching it, you know these two will not do this again. So it's like we got everything we could out of this one movie, and that final scene just puts the exclamation point on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. A great scene. I'm gonna have to watch that whole trilogy again.
It's a good time. Well, I like two of the three, two and a half out of the three.
I like all three.
I think so many people in the last 3 months is like Batman Begins is like my favorite Batman movie,
It's my
and I did not like it the first time I watched it. So, and I own it. I need to watch it just to. I think it just came out at not a bad time in my life, but a bad comic book time in my life. I wasn't into him at that moment, so I'm gonna have to watch him.
See, I didn't like Dark Knight Rises the first time I saw it, and then when I rewatched that about 3 months ago, I really, really liked it. I didn't like Selena at all the first time through, and this time I thought her character was great. The whole Robin thing didn't bother me. I think it hurt the first time I watched it in the theater, and the sound wasn't the greatest, so I couldn't understand a thing that Bane or Batman was saying. So that doesn't help either. Once you can make out what they're actually saying, it makes a big difference. But yeah, I like all three of them.
I like parts of Rise. I think Selena Kyle's actually probably my favorite part of it. The way Anne Hathaway switches characters throughout the film is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's my favorite version of Bane. Because I really don't care for the comic version that much. But I like the Tom Hardy one. I like other parts of it, but as a whole, it's not my favorite.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. So that was your number two. What's your number two, Jim?
My number two is from X-Men 2. It's Nightcrawler Attacks the White House.
It's a great scene.
Nightcrawler has always been my favorite X-Men. I'm pretty sure it's the first comic I ever bought was his solo by Chris Claremont, which I didn't like. But yeah, and then X2 came out and showed his powers in a very unique way that I had never even thought about him using them in, and loved it. And it just, I wasn't sure about why he was being a bad guy, but they explained that, and just a great scene. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you seen Dark Phoenix, Jim?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm asking. I was curious because Steve might agree with me on this. The way that opening is, the way they show him using his powers, you get some of that in Dark Phoenix toward the end, and it is magical. It's the way I would
Yeah, it's
describe
good.
it.
It's really
In
good.
the end,
Yeah, at the end of Dark Phoenix.
he's in that? Is it the same actor?
No, it's Cody Smith McPhee. So it's like the first class version of Kurt,
Oh,
the younger one. Although they're not the same Kurt, which is X-Men continuity brought to life, is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I know the guy that played him in X2. So
Alan
he was
Cumming.
going to do it again.
Mm-hmm. He hated the makeup.
Yeah.
He was good though.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was real good. Yeah.
I thought he was like the way Hugh Jackman was perfectly cast and Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. I thought he was on that level,
Yeah.
and then he just didn't want to do it again. And they only explain it in the video game. If you play the X2 game, there's a little thing where it's Nightcrawler basically saying, "This ain't for me," and he just leaves the mansion.
That's funny.
Basically, what it is.
Nice. Great scene. Man, I got a whole list of movies now I got to go watch again.
I got a
Good
whole
thing I don't
second
have a
list
job.
for me.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I agree.
What'd you say? I missed it.
He's got a whole second list forming.
Oh yeah.
My number 2. I mean, right here when we find out, when Batman, when Bruce realizes who the Joker is, like when he realizes that that's who killed his parents, or well, in this version anyway, of that. Yeah, of course he says it in the beginning too, but that part there when Batman realizes it is just a great scene, and it's just an iconic line from my favorite Joker. So
Do you want to get nuts?
that was almost on my list. That
Oh,
was
was it?
so close to being on my list. Yeah, I love that scene too. Oh, huh? What's that, Jim?
Oh, I got a cat scratching at the door.
Oh,
She don't have claws, so
that's good. So she's not really scratching at the door; she's pawing at the door.
sure. If you want to crack
They like-
the extended number 1.
That was it. Yeah, that was cool.
Like
It's been that way for 3 weeks, Jim.
drinking a lot.
It's very festive.
All right, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is the Joker card from Batman Begins. This is my top comic book movie moment of all time. I don't think you can ever replicate the excitement this caused for me. Even though it was actually spoiled for me before the movie, I was still ecstatic when I saw this. Like I was in another plane of existence, I think. When he turned over the card and I'll look into it. It was just magic to me.
Nice.
And I always said, sorry.
No, just another reason I have to go back and watch this movie.
Yes, it's so good.
Just the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, the rooftop scene really is wonderful.
It's great. Yeah,
So
Begins is my favorite. After '89, Begins is my second favorite Batman movie.
Begins it's still my favorite. The Batman is really close, but it still Begins for me.
mine's Batman Returns.
Yeah, that's.
All right.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you say Batman and Robin, but
If you said
And then,
Batman and Robin,
then
I'd be
can you really go
curious.
wrong if it is your favorite?
Yeah, I'd be curious. I'm not judging you. I'm just curious.
So,
I mean,
I had a great scene, Chris. That I remember that scene very, very specifically. I don't think I'd had it spoiled for me, and yes, it definitely got me excited for the follow-on.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that card. I mean, it doesn't matter. We can talk about what characters you want, what villains you want to see in Batman movies, but it's going to come down to the Joker.
Always does.
Ultimately, it has to.
I kind of feel like you cannot have a definitive Batman without a Joker. That's just the way I see it.
Oh, you can't have Superman without Lex. You can't have
Right.
Batman without Joker. Same thing.
Agree.
And you can't have Brad Pitt in Fringe without complex carbohydrates. That's like his mortal enemy.
About hating Jennifer Aniston.
All right, Jim. Would you? Oh, let me see. Yeah,
You know my number 1. I think everyone
We
knows
do.
my number 1.
it is
Hmm.
Wanda fighting Thanos, right?
Well, it's not even her fighting. It's the 2 lines of dialogue between the two.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are. I mean, I think it's the best lines of dialogue in any movie that explains the characters with nothing else being said.
Yeah.
It helps that we know he killed Vision, or
Right.
or she killed Vision, but but yeah, it's just I did not particularly like the Scarlet Witch before that scene, and I love her since that scene.
So, do you think he didn't know who she was, or do you think it was like when he'd mentioned?
Well, he killed her in a different timeline, so
Right.
he didn't know who she was.
This was a different Thanos. Or that was different Thanos.
Yeah,
I know that, but I'm just saying. Prior to that, he mentions how he didn't know who Iron Man was in an earlier movie. But then you find out later on that he did know, he was aware of who Iron Man was. So he was just kind of posturing by saying it that way. So, like, I don't know. I'm too good to even bother with you. But it turns out he actually did kind of have some sort of idea. So I'm just wondering if,
Well, if he was posturing, he failed miserably.
oh, he did.
Yeah. And I don't even, I don't like her because I think she would have destroyed him, which I do think she would have.
Mhm.
I think that summed up her character so
Right.
well.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just pain, and then the pain turns to power. There's nothing I don't like about that scene. I just think it's. I don't think it can get any better for MCU. For me,
One of my biggest hopes is with Secret Wars and X-Men coming into continuity that we get some sort of retcon, Wanda and Pietro as mutants, as Magneto's kids. I really, really hope that they can work that in somehow.
I'm trying to manifest that.
Yeah.
I want to see the Magneto family together, and if we get Polaris in there too, that'd be nice. Get Lorna in there.
Yeah. That would be cool. I think they'll try it, or maybe they'll just kind of hint at it, or tease it just a little bit. But
If we just see like a green haired girl in the background, that's good enough for me.
right there, you go. Good number one. My number one is the rooftop scene of No Way Home. Peter sitting there, Aunt May just.
She ate a bowl of cereal.
Just ate a bowl of cereal.
Optimus Prime cereal, actually.
Yeah.
Those little marshmallows that transform when you put them in the milk.
And I mean, it's not going to be streaming for a long time, so you'll forget by then, Jim. I mean, I got to be able to talk about this scene, right? It's just the what's that?
I'm not paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, you can mute me. I can mute me.
You did.
So we get him just angry, and the other two Spider-Men, the other two Peters are there, and they start talking about I lost Uncle Ben, I lost Gwen, and he's able to relate at this moment. And this is a moment that gets me a little choked up when I'm watching. And it's really, you realize at this point, hey, this is his origin. Far From Home and Homecoming weren't really. This is his. With great power comes great responsibility type. You are now Spider-Man scene. It happens a little later too when Tobey Maguire stops him from killing. But this was it for me. This is just a great scene, and it really shows who they are as people, as good people, overcoming all the bad stuff that happens.
Yeah, it's a terrific scene. I think I love that movie anyway. I think No Way Home is almost flawless for me. But that scene, when you talk about the greatest Spider-Man scenes we've seen on film, that has to be in the conversation whenever that, in my opinion, whenever that happens, you got to talk about that scene.
Yeah.
I want to watch this movie so bad.
It's way too long for you, Jim. You're going to have to break it into like
on Amazon.
4 episodes. Break it into 4 episodes. I will actually, what I'll do, I can give you my Voodoo password. Can I legally do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, yeah.
Only Netflix cares right now.
Right.
Okay.
I think I actually have to get it from my brother. It's his account, so I don't remember what it is. Man, there's so many films I need to watch. What do we got for runners up?
Oh man. Spider-Man kisses Mary Jane for Spider-Man.
Yes, that's a great one.
Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good one.
Thomas the Train Fight. Ant-Man.
I love that.
Oh, I was surprised that wasn't on your list.
I was too. I was kind of waiting for a Ant-Man scene.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, Shazam, you're off. Now back to it.
I think the Thomas the Train may be my wife's favorite scene from, other than I Know You from Work, maybe her favorite scene in the MCU.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Batman Returns, the Bat and the Cat on the roof.
That's good too. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
tell me there's another movie that formed me as a teenager right there.
Yeah.
Or another scene. But that's all I have written down.
I've got the opening to The Shadow with the bridge when he meets the guy for the first time. He has the cement, I guess, boots or whatever. The mob is going to throw him over the bridge.
That's good.
I love that from The Shadow.
Billy Zane? Was that
The Shadow? No, that's Billy. Billy Zane was the Phantom. Alec Baldwin was the Shadow.
Okay.
And he was really good as the Shadow.
I get the
Yes. You know, after the Shadow came out, this is when they were still casting Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, Alec Baldwin could probably play Batman. I'm glad now that he didn't, but at the time, I thought he would have been an obvious choice. I don't know, perfect, but obvious choice.
I actually would have put Baldwin and Willem Dafoe in the roles of Keaton and Nicholson.
Yeah,
I think that would be good. But I have the Shadow. I have the Iron Man post-credit scene. You know, the Avengers Initiative thing with Nick Fury. I have that.
Yeah, at the bar.
Another big one for me was the apartment fight from the first Ninja Turtles movie when they throw Raph through the skylight.
Oh yeah,
that whole scene was amazing.
Yeah.
I also have the Dawn of Justice warehouse fight with Batman saving Martha, and I have Wonder Woman.
Why did you say that name?
What name?
Martha.
I also have the Wonder Woman No Man's Land scene and basically everything from every X-Men movie. So that's what I got.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, so we just watched, I just watched First Class the other day. Man, yeah, so many great scenes from that.
Magneto in the
I like
the coin thing.
I like
always
it
sticks with me. The way he defeats Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
And even when he first, when he walks out with the helmet on, I mean, as soon as you see the helmet, what's going to happen, obviously. But it's still a cool scene. I just rewatched Black Widow the other day. I keep saying we. I know she watches in the background because I have it on. I just rewatched Black Widow, and I really, really like that movie. The opening scene when they are kids and it's showing their backstory, her and her sister, before they get taken, with the music that's playing there.
You mean the montage?
Well. Yeah. It's such a good scene. It's an emotional scene, and it made me feel for Natasha in a way that I never did in any of the other movies.
The Born Widow.
Yeah. The widow identity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like.
That is kind of what it's like. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just a spy thriller.
I think I'd rather watch that than the Bourne movies.
Oh, I like those two, though.
I do.
I'm not picky at all.
I think I like Black Widow better.
But yeah, so you already mentioned the let's get nuts, or you want to get nuts scene. Man, I had a few that I was going to name off, and now I can't remember them all. I think we pretty much covered a lot of it, though. Oh, V for Vendetta. We watched that the other night, and the jail cell when she's stuck in there as a prisoner. She's being manipulated and all that kind of stuff. That's a great scene as well. Such a good movie too, man. I love that movie. So
great.
I don't know. That's real. It is. Yeah, for sure. So those are my choices.
Good choices.
That was fun. Yeah, man.
I don't think I can argue with anyone. Well, why would I argue with anybody else's choice? But like I said, it's the first time I feel like everyone that you guys said could be on my list if I had seen them.
And I could probably have 50 more easy. Like
Challenge extended.
Yeah, this one is tough because there's so many cool moments, and it's hard to really cut it down to the 10.
I mean, you got the fight in Avengers with Thor, Cap, and Iron Man in the forest.
That's when you mentioned it earlier. That's what I was thinking. The one I wanted to add was that I
Yeah.
love that scene. That was like their first meeting, and it's just really interesting to see. And also as a fan, we're seeing
Yeah.
Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor on screen at the same time.
Did he
Right.
just jump out of this plane without a parachute? Yeah.
Oh yeah, jumping out in Winter Soldier. That's Winter Soldier, right? Yeah, onto the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that just cracks me up.
Oh, I Can Do This All Day from the first movie, and then they replicate it in the second one. That's two cool moments.
Yeah.
Or even when he jumps on the grenade because he thinks it's a live grenade, but it's not.
Okay, so the flagpole scene is
Oh, yeah.
probably should have made my list.
Yeah, that's probably
But
should have done too. Damn it, Blade.
So
I mean, this just proves that. I think this just proves that we really like comic book movies,
I saw something today.
except for
that-
Jim, who hasn't seen them.
I saw something today that said Peggy was about to jump on the grenade as well in First Avenger.
I don't remember that.
Either one of you watched that and kept an eye on her to see if she was getting ready to jump on it?
Nope. Now I have to though.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
I saw that on Twitter, I believe, and everything I see on Twitter is true.
It is.
Well, that would make sense because Peggy, there's the what if version where Peggy is Captain.
Yeah.
I think they call it Captain Britain, which is really cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we saw her for half a second or whatever in Doctor Strange.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I thought you saw the second Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Multiverse of Madness.
wait. What about it?
Peggy Carter.
When
was
you
in
see
that.
her as
Oh, that's right. She does do something in that movie.
She gets cut in half.
by Wanda.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is Cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who else is in that scene?
Oh, you got Black Bolt. She seals up Black Bolt's mouth so he can't destroy
I
her.
don't even know who that is. Though.
Professor
He's
Xavier.
he's an Inhuman. He's an Inhuman, and his voice can destroy planets, so he never talks.
Like Banshee on steroids.
Oh yeah, big time steroids. Like he's a planet destroyer.
But who's the other? Who's the other woman that she kills?
Was it Photon?
Is that Monica
Or-
Rambeau?
Yes.
It was it was her as Photon. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. Poor John Krasinski. I still wish they would get him to play. I wish they would cast him coming up because I thought he did a good job. I liked him in the role,
Yeah, I think
even though it was short.
well, short and stretched out.
I think he'd be a
Yeah.
perfect choice, but if he doesn't want it, I guess he doesn't want it.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you've heard my fan casting for Fantastic Four, Chris,
I don't think
but
so.
I've got John Krasinski plays Mr. Fantastic. Jenna Fisher plays Sue Storm.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
If we're not getting, but now I don't know if I
Dwight
would like. Who would you pick?
Dwight plays the Thing.
I was going to say that I think you have to.
Yeah.
And who?
Dwight plays Thing.
No, I think you gotta go with Kevin.
Oh, that would be good.
I think I want to see Kevin as Doctor Doom. Dwight, I think
That-
Dwight as Thing would be more fun.
That would be pretty awesome.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
who
guess
plays Johnny Storm?
Ryan has to play
Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Man, that's some fan casting right there. Yeah, for sure. All right. Great episode, guys. So this past Sunday on Gathering of the Geeks, what did you guys talk about for those who need to go watch it?
We didn't have a show. It was Easter. Oh, wait,
This
no.
will air Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. I guess
You don't
we'll
know. Oh, hey.
What's it
cliffhanger.
called again? The one with
see. The one with secondhand embarrassment? Or the one about secondhand embarrassment?
Secondhand embarrassment. So I guess how you should tease the show is something like if you haven't seen it, you got to go hear these guys' opinions on some stuff. You may not believe what they have to say. That's how everybody leaves
see.
off. You may not believe what they have to say. So definitely check it out.
We have hot takes.
I will be. That's right. Hot takes. Chris and Emmett full of hot takes.
Oh yes, the hottest takes.
All
Scorching takes is what we call them.
right. So that is going to do it for us tonight. We are Midlife Vices, and we were discussing our top 10 comic book movie scenes or moments. Please join us next time. Thank you, Chris, very much for being here.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Again,
Thank you
we
guys for
are
having
the
me.
Booster Gold of YouTube shows, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Adios.